Welcome back, APCSA students, to part 2 on ArrayList. So I wanted to actually do a little demo in this one, and so I was going to start with just, again, looking at our prior knowledge. Here's our string array, and we have to set the size as 3, and then here we can display the length, and then I'm filling each of the 3 array containers 0, 1, and 2 with values. And then if I print the list, I just want to remind you that with an old school array, so here we can see the length is 3, but when I print the array, I get this weird garbage. So the solution was either to have a loop or to call this static arrays method. I had this in I think when we were talking about primitives versus objects and memory addresses and things, I threw it in a program. And so if I do that, I'm going to have to import it. And so the other option again, so now I can see the contents of the array using this. What we did more often in class was we had a for loop and we traversed and we printed each element. Okay, so the equivalent of this in an array list, here we have the array list being created of strings. Here's the name of the array list. And when I print the size at this time, we're going to see that it's 0. And then after we add the 3 elements, we're going to print the list. And we'll see here for an array list that the array list has a 2 string already. So it's already doing that other work for us. Just simply saying print the list, we're seeing the contents of the list. So one of the things we talked about in class was, what if I did this and then I wanted to remove you from the list? Except if we look at our green sheet, we can see when we remove, we're supposed to give an index. So if I wanted to remove you from this array list, I would say remove index 0. And then if I were to print the list again, I can see that U's been removed, and I didn't have to do any shifting, I didn't have to do any manual work. Similarly, I can decide, and maybe I'll group these together. So I removed and printed, so now I'm going to add U back. So if I just say add, if you look at that green sheet with only one parameter, that string, it puts it to the end of the list and it returns a Boolean value. Mostly we ignore that Boolean value. For the other add method, you can pass that thing you want to insert to the list, but you can also say where you want it inserted. And it's up to you to stay in bounds in the array list, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But so if I want to use that one, I can give the index to add at 0, and then I can say I want you to put U back, and maybe I'll make it a capital U just so you can see that it is different than the original. So to us it seems seamless, like it's magic. And so I would encourage you to use the debugger, and I'm going to use it. And I think I'd like to show you this one first. So I went back to the regular array, I hit the debugger, and by the time I'm here, the array named list, and maybe I should have named it ARR, not a great idea on my part. We can see the 3 values, and as I step through the code, we're going to see the array getting filled, and then when we print, we see the print, and we're done with that. So here I am back in ArrayList, and I'm going to hit the debugger, and as I get down one, I'm going to open and view value of list, and here's my list. Did it? And so it said the size was 0, and then here I add things, and immediately you get this huge array here, and use here, right here. But there's all these other slots, and so this is what I was talking about in class, that the ArrayList class is keeping track of how much of this array you're using, and it's only going to let you have access to the area you've added to. So you can see me gets added, us gets added, we print the list. When we remove, you're not going to see quite the total process, but you will see the me and the us get pulled back to 0 and 1 rather than leaving a hole where you got removed. Now we're going to put you back, and it's going to scooch me and us over for us in the array. If we were to add 10 elements, we would see this automatically get resized behind the scenes. Now, just because this array is size 10, it doesn't mean you can access it. Right now, the size of the array is 3, and we can see that here. So we'll print the size just to see the 3. So if you look at the green sheet, it tells you exactly where you can add things. And if you're going to say give an index, it's up to you to be within that size. So if the size is 3, I can't say add at 4 or 5. And similarly, when I'm using index to get something or to set, I need to be picking a valid index. And maybe we should, rather than adding more, I did not mean to do that. Maybe, I've just made a mess. Back. Maybe we'll get. So if I want to get the element at 1 or at index 1, I'll print that. So here we can see it's giving me back for this get right here, because right at that time, that is what's there. But what I can't do, again, because the size of this array is 3, I can't get something at 3 even, because there's nothing there. There's something at index 0, index 1, and index 2. So here, it printed the me, and then when it went to get something at index 3, it said you are out of bounds. Index 3, size is 3. So the ArrayList class throws this exception, because we saw that the array had more spots, but you don't have access to them until you've added enough stuff, and that's the way we want it. We really didn't have anything at index 3, so that was certainly out of bounds of what we were using and adding. Let's go ahead and do, let's do a set. So you can change something. We can change, set changes the element. We could change the element at index 1 with we. And then if we print that list again, oh, I need to get rid of that, duh. We can now see that me is gone from the list. We'll talk a little bit more about how some of these methods work and stuff as we go on, some of the nuances, but I think this at least gives you an idea of how robust the array list is, and yet you still do have to manage things. Again, I can't set something at index 3 because this is my array list. There's something at 0, 1, and 2. There is nothing at 3. So if I try to set at 3, I'm going to be out of bounds. And so we're going to be using for loops to traverse through array lists. And so it's still up to you to stay in bounds. I think one last thing I wanted to, perhaps I'll save it for another video, but remove can be tricky if you're going through. And so just keep that in mind, that if you're traversing through a list using a for loop and you're removing things as you go and your for loop is based on the size, then that variable is changing. And so a little bit of weird things, just things we have to be very mindful of when we're traversing and removing especially. It's okay to traverse and get and even set, but when you're removing, we'll talk about that more in class because there is a couple of things we want to be aware of with that. And I guess the only other piece was using those wrapper classes. And so if I get rid of all this, do I want to get rid of all that? Kind of don't, but we'll just get rid of all that. I've got about 5 more minutes. And so we said you cannot put primitives in an array list. So if I try to run this, unexpected type, required is a reference type, and it found a primitive type. So we just do this, and then we go on our merry way, and now I can add numbers, right? That's an integer. So I don't want to add strings now. And then I can print the list as well. So I similarly can get things out. I can say integer x equals list.get, and I want to get the index. So I want to get the thing at index 1, which is actually 9999 right now, and then I can system out print line x. So there's a conversion that goes on behind the scenes, and again, this is called a wrapper class, and there's one for all primitives, and it basically handles changing this primitive into an object so that we can put it into the list, and then when I get it out at this index, it similarly will unwrap it, or it's usually called boxing and auto boxing, but you can think of it as unwrapping it and returning a primitive value. So for the most part, it is seamless to us. And I think that's good. We did add, we did set, we did size, we did get, and we did remove. So I think that's a good start. And like I said, I'll make another video just with remove because there's a couple different ways to handle the remove. So I will see you in the next video, and happy coding.